Hello everyone. So today we'll start doing the simulation part of the analog circuit laboratory. So the first experiment what we have is actually RC phase shift oscillator as well as Hartley oscillator. So since the theory concept is not done, I'll directly move to the second experiment. What we have is to simulate the narrow band pass filter and band reject filter. The main objective of this particular experiment is you have to understand the simulation of narrow band pass filter and narrow band reject filter. The aim of the experiment is to simulate both the filters, narrow band pass filter and narrow band reject filter. The equipment what you are going to use here is the software, that is PSpice software of ORCAD, Cadence. Coming to the theory part, you have already studied this in the module 5. What is actually a band pass filter? What are the different types of band pass filter and how the band pass filter is considered to be a wide band or a narrow band. Now we know a band pass filter usually has a pass band between two cutoff frequencies. We had taken it as FH and FL such that your higher frequency, that is FH, should be greater than FL. So any input frequencies outside this pass band will be attenuated. So it is a filter or a device that passes frequency within a certain range and rejects the frequencies outside this range. So the band pass is mainly between two cutoff frequencies. We had in theory as FH and FL as considered as F2 and F1. So F2 is greater than FH or F1, FH is greater than FL. So we know there are two different types of band pass filter. One is a wide band pass filter and one more is narrow band pass filter. Both the filters are mainly characterized based on the Q factor, or what we call it as a figure of merit. Now here, if the figure of merit, that is Q, is less than 10, then we call such filter as a wide band pass filter. Similarly, if the figure of merit is greater than 10, then we call it as a narrow band pass filter. When I say Q factor, it is nothing but it is a figure of merit, or it is inverse, or it is the inverse of fractional bandwidth. We know actually Q is equal to Fc divided by the bandwidth, or Fc divided by Fh minus Fl. So it is the inverse of fractional bandwidth. Now here, when we say an ideal band pass filter, it will have a flat pass band and will completely attenuate all the frequencies outside this pass band. So bandwidth is nothing but higher cutoff frequency, higher frequency of cutoff minus your lower cutoff frequency. That is, bandwidth is equal to Fh minus Fl. That is an overall introduction to band pass. Coming to the band reject filter, we know it is actually a filter where we reject all the frequencies or certain frequencies which are not required. It is also called as a band elimination filter, band reject filter, or it is band stop filter. So here the frequencies are attenuated in the stop band while they are passed outside this band. So here also we have two different types, that is the wide band reject filter and narrow band reject filter. Again, the narrow band reject filter is called as your notch filter. Now when we say a notch filter means it is mainly used to reject a single frequency, or we have seen an example in the theory also. We have considered a 60 Hertz problem of the power line frequency which is used in the power line and solved for one particular single frequency. Now this particular circuit is made up of a low pass as well as a high pass filter, just like a band pass filter, except that this time we connect the two filter sections in parallel with each other instead of the series. So sometimes it is desirable such that to make the circuit capable of selective filtering one frequency or range of frequencies out of the mix of different frequencies in the circuit. So a circuit designed to perform this particular frequency selection is called a filter circuit, or simply a filter. Now when we take this particular filter, mainly it is used in high frequency stereo systems where certain ranges of audio frequencies need to be amplified or it has to be suppressed for best sound qualities or the power efficiencies. So passband gain, as well as we have seen the notch filter where we see the rejection of single frequency. So we had used a twin T network along with a voltage follower. So moving on to the circuit. So the first one circuit what we have is a narrow bandpass filter. The narrow bandpass filter, the main idea or main aspect of this narrow bandpass filter is it is using a multiple feedback and it has only one single op-amp. When we compare it with other filter, this particular filter is unique in the following aspect. As I said you, it has two feedback paths. One is this feedback, one more is this feedback path. So this is the name of the filter is also a multiple feedback filter. And the op-amp what we use is in the inverting mode. So these are the two unique factors of this bandpass filter. Now we need to design this particular filter in the simulation part. Now the first we'll go to the procedure. So the procedure of this particular simulation is first you need to open the software, that is OrCAD Capture CIS. There you have to open the file with a new project. So we'll start doing. So we have a Cadence software, open Capture CIS Lite. So here the first procedure is you need to open the new project file. Wait until the window is getting opened. So this is a new project. Now give any project name, whichever you are comfortable. To give it as bandpass filter. And you need to save the videos, you need to save the experiment. Choose a path. See, I have choose it as I've given the file name as lab video and I've considered the path. Give it as OK. Now here also give OK. Wait until the window is getting opened. Now the window has opened. Now you have to go to the schematic part of the circuit. You can see here band pass filter. Go to schematic. Click on the page 1. Now we have got the place where you need to place the parts of the circuit. The second procedure in the system is you need to open the second procedure. You have to place the part, that is you have to select the required components for the circuit to be designed from the library. So here go to the simulation. There is a tool called as place. Now here either you can click this or you have here also a window called place part. You can click this also. Now the thing is you need to get an op-amp in the circuit. So click on this op-amp. Usually we go for LM741 when we do the experiment. So you can search here for LM741 op-amp. So this is LM741. Double click on this. Place it here like this. Then you need to give escape because only one op-amp we need. You can select the op-amp and give escape. Now going to the circuit, the next one what we need is 1, 2, 3 and 4 resistor, 1 and 2 capacitors. So for the resistor and capacitor, you have to click on this analog. Now we'll select the capacitor first, double click on that, place the capacitor here, as well as we need one more capacitor, so you can place it somewhere around here. Then give escape. Now come down here and the next thing what you do need is the resistor. Click on the resistor, place a resistor here and one more resistor here, and you need one more resistor above this, and you need one more resistor. But again, this resistor you can give escape. This resistor has to be rotated See, the easiest way of rotation is click on this, give Control R, or you can right click, go to rotate also. Okay. Now we need to connect this circuit. To connect it, there is a component called as wire here. Place wire. You give wire, or you can click W also from the keyboard. Connect it directly to pin number 3, and the connection has to be proper. Next is from this resistor to this capacitor. One more is from this capacitor to this pin number 2. Next, from a pin number 2, you have to give it to this resistor. One more, you can use this. Come back, give to the feedback. First feedback is done. One more feedback is through the capacitor, connected. Then from the capacitor, before that, bring this particular resistor a little bit down. Okay. Now take the wire, place it along this connection, and one more is to the capacitor. Okay. And give escape. Bring this line together. Okay. So the connection part is completed now. You can bring the resistor, make the proper alignment. This also, you can use this alignment properly. Similarly, this resistor. Now the connection part is done. Next is we need to give the input and the supplies and the ground. So to do that, for going for the supplies, that is actually input is nothing but a source. So click on source here, and you can search here for VAC. So it has come already. Double click on this and place it here. Give escape. Take a wire, connect it from here to here, and this is for ground. Okay. Give escape. So this is actually the input. The next is we need to give the supply. So go to the source once again. You need VDC. So you have it here. Double click. Now place the VDC here. 1. Okay. Now one more we need. So you can just place it here. So rotate it. Now to keep in mind, +7 is positive supply of op-amp. That is +12 we give usually. So right click on this because we need to rotate. See here, this is the negative and this is positive. It has to be reversed. So either you can use Control R, or you can go here, rotate once more. You can rotate, or you can keep it like this also. So go to the wire, click on this and connect it to 7. Similarly, this has to be given to ground. So I'll keep it somewhere here. Give escape. Now this part is actually negative should be above because it is -12 here. So rotate it. Again, one more time you need to rotate. Rotate it. So either you can keep it like this also and place the ground, or you can keep it like this and place the ground. So take a wire. Now connect this. Sorry, that is 1. Okay. Here it is. Take a wire, give it to 4th pin, and we need to give it a ground here. So bring this, depends how you actually design. If you keep the components far a little bit, you can make a proper design. I have taken it all together very much near, so it is making it in a congested way. So next is you need to provide the ground. So ground will be usually provided using okay. So now we need to connect the ground. So to connect the ground, we'll consider this. So here you have to take the 0 as the ground. Consider this and place it here. One ground here. One more we require here. Similarly, one to the supply. One more to this supply. And one more to this resistor. Okay, to escape. Now we can, before connecting, we can change the parameter values. So the resistor value for here, it is 120 kilo ohm. Similarly, for this capacitor, it is 0.04 microfarad. And to this resistor, it is 60 kilo. And this resistor value, it is again 120k, then 130. You can refer the figure in the CLM when you do the experiment. So since I have know the values and writing it directly before referring to the figure, this resistor value is 120k. There is again the connection is wrong. Instead of connecting the line here or wire here, this actually should go after the capacitor. So connect it here. This should come at this point. So connection has to be proper when you do it. Now connect the ground from here to here. One connection. This is done. Again from here to this connection. Similarly, the supply here to here. And again from here to this point. Now we need to change the values of the supply voltage. So this is minus 12. Don't give minus 12, give it as 12. This is the polarity, it is being taken directly. Here also it is 12. I think, we have changed all the values. So input is according to the PDF. Input R2 is 60, 120.0 microfarad. So 60 is 0.0, 60, 120. Similarly, other is 130.04, 120K. 130.04, 120K output. So this completes our circuit now. Now next procedure is, so we need to create a file. So you can check the procedure. So we need, after completing the circuit, so one is we need to check the output. So we'll place this. This is actually to see the output. So you have to keep it across the output side. 12 dB charge. Okay. Then we need to go to the procedure. So we need to go to page 5, then new simulation profile, name and create. So this is page 5. So new simulation file is this. You can either process through this particular file or you can process using this was said. Here also it is given. This is the shortcut method, new simulation file, or you can go here and process the new simulation file. We need to give some name. I'll give it as a narrow bandpass filter. Now create it. After creating, you will get one file, that is your edit simulation file. Now here we need to do certain changes. So if you see the procedure, you have got this edit simulation file. In that you need to do the setting. The first setting is analysis, that should be AC sweep. Then you need to enter the start frequency 300 Hz, stop frequency as 3 kHz. So 300 Hz is FL or F1. Stop frequency 3 kHz is nothing but higher cutoff frequency FH or F2. So here it means that from 300 to 3 kHz, your filter should pass the frequency. Rest all frequencies should be neglected or suppressed. So we need to select in terms of logarithmic as a beacon as 100. So we'll go to simulation file. Now here you need to take it as AC sweep. It is in logarithmic. And you need to enter the frequency. Start frequency is 300. End frequency is 3 kHz. Points are in decade. So you need to give it as 100. Then apply. Okay. So you have created and edited the simulation file. The next step is, after that, you need to, this is actually for band rejection, same procedure. PSpice, go to PSpice and run. So now you're going to PSpice. Either you can go here and run, or there is one more option here. Here also you can use the PSpice to run. To run the simulation file, check whether there is a connection problem. If you have connection problem, or if there is any error in the circuit, everything will be visible in this particular section. So you can check that also. You see here. So if your netlist have been run properly, then you will get a PSpice netlist generation complete. If error is that, this particular thing will not be getting. Now go here. So we need to keep, so this is not taken, that is, we need to place this output file. So take it, place it here to check the output. You can give escape. One more time you run it. So since it was not placed, the output was not formed. Now see the waveform. So whatever the exactly we have in the, according to the theory concept of your narrow bandpass filter. So we have taken it as 300 Hertz. This is 3.0 kilohertz. So the band what you have, the frequency is not wide. It is narrow. That is, at one particular point you are getting a frequency. That is exactly almost, you can place a marker and see, mark data point. So you can mark it here and check, or one particular point. So one is this. So you can see the frequency. Almost you are getting it 1 kilohertz. So this is how you can also change the color of this particular traces. Here there are properties, trace information, as well as it will show you like how many traces are there, what is the maximum, what is the minimum point, all those. So check the procedure in the CLM. So you need to find out the output of this. So you are getting exactly the same. The bandpass filter we have designed for around 1.05 kilohertz. Practically, we are taking it as 940 hertz, that is low frequency. Bandwidth will be designed for 110 hertz. So that is how you define it. So at this particular frequency, you have to keep the marker now. So this is actually the marker point. So if you trace the line in terms of the marker data point here, so you will get it as what is the exact frequency. So after you finish giving the edit simulation file, either you can go to PSpice and give run here, or else you can use the shortcut method what we have here, run PSpice, to run the simulation. So you will be getting a output waveform section window. So that will define your output waveform of the bandpass filter. So this is the output of the narrow bandpass filter. So you can see the frequency F1 is 300, F2 is 3 kilohertz, 3 kilohertz. So this is the passband frequency which we were talking about. So at one particular frequency, that is, which we call it as a narrow frequency. So since this is not wide also, so the skew factor is greater than 10. So you'll be getting at one particular frequency. So it is nothing but a bandpass filter. So the narrow bandpass filter, you can take the 3 dB difference from the maximum point, and you can find out the lower cutoff frequency, higher cutoff frequency, find the bandwidth of this particular filter. So there is one more method also. The output is across this. So if you go to the window, see the output is across either R3 or across either capacitor. So you can go to add trace here. Suppose if you're not applying add trace, B of C2, 2. That is this. P of C2, 2 is equal. The same what you're getting, instead of this placing this and getting, we can go to add trays and places and we can also find the waveform. So this is how the output waveform of the bandpass filter. There also in the setting we can change the color of the waveform. So the result is, so whatever the filter you have designed, so you can see the same filter what we have got. The waveform was similar to this. So in the experiment, you have designed the given narrow bandpass filter and simulated using the PSpice tool, and whatever the output waveform you have got is particularly to the bandpass filter. So the outcome is the first order active narrow bandpass filter has been analyzed. Applications will look into after completing the band reject filter. So this is the first part of the second experiment, that is how to design the bandpass filter. The procedure remains same for band reject filter also. First, now we need to design the circuit. That means we need 3 op-amps. Along with 3 op-amps, we need the resistor, capacitor, as well as we need to place it properly and give the particular values for the resistors, capacitors, and supply voltage. Then we'll be analyzing how is the result of the narrow band reject filter. So this completes